Speaking of the men that will be joining us, we have a legend, another legend, of course, in the way of the Nigerian game, the African game, that joins us live on Skype from Finland. We are speaking to Daniel Amokachi, who, of course, played alongside him and was assistant to Stephen Keshi, most recently as the big boss for the national team. Daniel, it's a sad time to join us, but, well, Africa, while mourning, also celebrates a teammate of yours, a colleague of yours, that did so much for Nigeria. Tell us about the influence he had on you and on those around you.
Well, it's a pleasure having me, in the studio once again. I think the pastor either, has, just started everything up by saying it was a very sad hour, early mornings that we all heard the news. But for me, like I did say, it's a period where we should celebrate the 54 years that God sent, Keshi to the world to achieve what he was sent for. We look at him as a role model. We call him the boss. A lot of people look at him as the mafia, but when you say the mafia, what a good way for a mafia to achieve and be patriotic, to make Nigeria be where it was in football. He will be celebrated. He's a brother. He's a father. He's a friend. And it's for global, football. But at the same time, the word you did say is to celebrate Keshi. Keshi is a role model to everybody, not only Nigerians, but everybody that comes next to him when it comes to football, when it comes to, lending a hand forward for him to help go to the next level when it comes to football. I learned a lot as a coach. Stephen Keshi, the diplomatic angle of it, the man management that Keshi brought is what is keeping me moving as a coach today, in Finland.
Now, Daniel, as a player out on the field, tell us about the influence, especially in the difficult times when Nigeria had her back up against the wall, so to speak.
Yeah, well, Keshi is someone that, when he talks to you, he has that motivational, inspiration in him that when he talks to you, he tries to bring the best out of you. And we've seen it in a lot of situations. TK just mentioned when he was with Mali in Angola. With Nigeria, of course, when we were at Chan, when we were down, to Morocco, you saw how we fought back and ended up winning by by equalizing and finish up winning by 4-3. That shows you the kind of person he is. And for Nigeria to be the way it was and end up winning the African Cup of Nations with all the controversy that was going within the team and the Football Federation, but he's stick in there, keep motivating the players, keep telling them what we need to do, because we are Nigerians, we have to be very patriotic. And that's who Keshi is. After the African Cup of Nations, Keshi did resign, but he didn't want to go because he's a patriotic Nigerian. He had good offers from South Africa. He had from a couple of other countries.
South Africa?
But
hey, Daniel, you can tell us. Come on, you can tell us.
He had that offer, but, being the patriotic person he knew that, the Federation wouldn't want him to succeed in his next a tenor, but he still stood there, being a Nigerian, being who he is, and continue coaching. And that shows you the kind of human being that he is.
I have to ask you about your generation, Daniel, that class of 94, so to speak. The way you guys, of course, set the bar as players, and now some of you, in yourself, in Stephen Keshi, in Sunday Olise, and just mentioning a few, have come back to contribute to the Nigerian game and to football all around on the continent. How important was that influence from your generation and what you guys have started along, of course, with Stephen Keshi?
Yeah, well, it's an influence that we picked up from Clemens Westhoff, our father, and through Stephen Keshi, of course. What Keshi did with Togo definitely made we to have that belief that, yes, it is possible for an African to do what he did. You know, you guys did mention that he qualified 2 countries. He qualified Nigerian twice with Amadi Shaibu in 2002 in Japan, Korea. Yeah. No, he has 3 World Cups, Keshi, not 2.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how influential he is, you know, as a coach. You know, he will be missed, but I'm sure he's in heaven in the foot, watching them good angels with him.
Now, gentlemen, I'm also sitting here with the wise men, Ida Peterside, Jeff Katala, TK, as you mentioned earlier, as well as Greg Itafia. Gentlemen, anybody want to pick up a question here or pick it up from this point? Ida, Jeff?
Well, I know a little bit about Keshi, but I think there's a part that Daniel is not talking about.
Yeah.
And that's the staying side of Keshi. That's why he started by saying the mafia side of Keshi. Tell us that mafia side of Keshi, Danny.
that mafia side is a good side, Peter.
Yes, I agree. I know.
You were lucky, you know, among the fold when everything started.
Yeah.
You know, and if you know when you say the mafia, Keshi was leading a mafia team, but a mafia team that was winning games and that was the best generation of what ever had. So if you say it's a stained mafia, then definitely it's not a stained mafia. Keshi is someone that when he sees white, he tells you it's white.
Exactly.
He can never see white and he said it's black. And that's why people say he's a controversial person. He is a mafia. And why do you think me and Keshi became very good friends?
Well, Daniel, we would like to thank you for, well, taking the time out on a difficult time for Nigeria and for all of Africa to, of course, speak of a great African and a great African footballer, coach and mentor. Well, we mourn with you, and our thoughts, prayers very much with you, the Nigerian football fraternity.
Don't mourn Keshi. Don't mourn Keshi, celebrate Keshi.
And we celebrate, of course.
54 years to do what he did.
Yeah.
And he achieved what a lot haven't achieved.
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali died a couple of days ago. The world stood still. Keshi died. The world stood still. That tells you that he is a living legend in the eyes of the good Lord.
He is a cut above the rest. Thank you very much, Daniel Amokachi, for joining us.